Welcome to the Minnesota Vikings weekly podcast of MinnesotaVikingsChat.com. And I'm David Erickson, your host, and I'm with Rick Birmingham in Minneapolis. How you doing, Rick?
Very well.
Good, very good. The Vikings have had an eventful day one of the 2013 NFL Draft. They had 2 picks in the first round, and with them at number 23, they chose defensive tackle from Florida, Sharif Floyd. With the 25th pick, they stood pat. They didn't move up, and they didn't move down. They chose Xavier Rhodes, cornerback from Florida State. And then they traded back into the first round with the New England Patriots. They gave up their 4th-round pick, their 2nd-round pick, their 3rd-round pick, their first 4th-round pick, and in the last 7th-round pick in this draft to move up to number 29 and take New England's spot and choose Cordarrelle Patterson, Tennessee's wide receiver that we've talked about before. So Merry Christmas, Rick.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's a fun day to be a Viking.
Yeah.
So that was Thursday night. Friday night, the Vikings didn't do anything because they didn't have any picks. They've got 5 picks today on Saturday, so they will. They are very strong about getting value in later rounds. So they'll be picking some players today. But let's talk about today's our picks, our newest additions. One of the intriguing picks of our last pick, Cordarrelle Patterson, Tennessee receiver. 6'2", 216, 31 inch arms length, 9-inch hands, 4'4", 240, 37-inch vertical jump. A lot of things to get excited about. He looks pretty electric with the ball in his hands, but he's also raw. He's also very raw, very inexperienced. So how do you think the Vikings are going to incorporate Cordarrelle?
Oh, I think he's got a spot as long as he's okay to play. He's got to learn the offense, and the articles this morning, that's what they're worrying about because he's only had one high-level college year, which is a legitimate concern, no doubt. But nice to have that problem instead of not having even a body to talk about the past few years. So I can see why they did something. There were a lot of receivers that were very similar, all had their strengths, and each had a flaw. He did, as we talked about, seem like a better fit for the Vikings playing outside. So they spent something to try and get him. It looks great, looks athletic, looks like if we can get the ball to him, it will help a lot. He'll be out there with a lot of man-to-man coverage because they'll be cheating in on Peterson. And he has to beat him, and Ponder has to be on time with the throw.
Yeah, a lot of people, well, we gave up, apparently we gave up a lot to go get him. So, I mean, we didn't pick in the on Friday night because we gave up all our picks to get him. But there's a Jimmy Johnson, former coach of the Cowboys, had long ago come up with a draft value chart where they valued every pick in a draft with a number. And if you look at what the Vikings gave up for that 29th spot, it's sort of a wash according to that chart. Now, other people are saying, well, that doesn't take into account other things, and other people are giving the Vikings having the Patriots having fleeced the Vikings. I think it really, I mean, who knows until 3 years out we find out whether Cordarrelle Patterson has panned out. But I don't know. I'm happy with the pick. I think he's an electric receiver. He's electric with the ball in his hands. 4.42 speed. He's got speed. He's got height. He's got nice size for a receiver. Receiver has run it out of the backfield in Tennessee. They pitched it to him out of the backfield, so he's got some flexibility there. A lot of end arounds. He can throw the ball, so we haven't seen that since Sidney Rice. He's a kick returner. and very good at that, and has done punt returning as well. So if we can fill those 2 spots just out of the gate, and that's something that Spielman said in the press conference introducing him, is, that's probably where he's going to contribute the most early on. But I think he comes into an ideal situation. You got Greg Jennings. You got he doesn't have to be the #1 guy. You can do simple things to utilize his talents without him having to know the playbook in and out. Bubble screens, end arounds, and get the ball in his hands in space, and let him make something happen with the ball. So I'm pretty excited about this. It'll be fun to watch. I can't wait to see him on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Any final thoughts on Cordarrelle Patterson?
It'll be fun. If Vikings fans want to go out there and watch the videos of him, it's fun to watch him in traffic, waiting for blocks and things like that. He looks like he can read the field and run. He doesn't look like the fastest guy who's ever played, but it's fun to watch him.
Yeah. You will need some practice. I did. My first initial take on him was I tended to focus on the balls he caught away from his body, but as I went back and looked some more, he does catch a lot with his body. So we need to break him of that habit. But I'm not worried. I'm not worried this is a Troy Williamson type of thing, because he showed me enough in the tape that he looks like a natural catching it away from his body too. So just put him in front of the jugs machine and make him catch a lot.
And Troy Williamson was really a special athlete. You don't get many of them coming around.
That's right.
The ability to drop that many footballs.
All right. Let's wrap this up. Rick, you want to do any self-promotion or promotion of any type?
Just share our content.
All right. That's a good promotion. I'm going to promote a friend of ours, fellow football player of ours, David LeDuc, is a musician, and he just came out with his solo album, A Floor of Clouds, on which I play guitar on track 2. So I'll leave a link in the show notes so you can check that out. It's a great album, really good music. So buy it. This has been the Minnesota Vikings Chat Podcast, MinnesotaVikingsChat.com. Visit us on Facebook, or like us on Facebook at Facebook.com/Minnesota Vikings Chat, and on Twitter at Twitter.com/MN Vikings Chat. And until next week, go Vikings!